Far fewer people have heard about Somaliland, an autonomous region that seceded from Somalia more than 20 years ago to set up its own country.
It's been a tumultuous history since then, with Somaliland fighting to gain international acceptance and political legitimacy. Well, through this, the UAE has remained a steadfast economic and political ally, even helping representatives of Somaliland and Somalia work together towards a lasting peace process.
Last week, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Somaliland was in Dubai and met the UAE's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Anwar Gargash, to discuss bilateral trade and the development of a new port by DP World in Berbera.
The Republic of Somaliland hasn't been recognized diplomatically, but Somaliland government has been increasingly engaged by the international community, from Europe, America, the Middle East, and in African states. With the United Arab Emirates, we have started developing a very positive relationship. This is the second time we had officially met with the UAE government, and we have a number of interests, a common interest. We are a common interest in the fight against terrorists. We have a common interest in the fight against piracy, a common interest to have an economic cooperation, but also the United Arab Emirates supports the talks between Somaliland government and the Somalia government.
It was in Dubai itself that at the UAE's behest, representatives from Somaliland and Somalia met last year to discuss the peace process. Where do things stand today?
It's actually half a year ago, and the United Arab Emirates has just confirmed to Somaliland delegation here today that it's planning to continue to support that process. And we do hope that alongside with other governments, including Britain and Norway, that we will be having a discussion with the Somalia government on the way forward. We would like to talk about our aspirations of becoming a sovereign state that enjoys an international status, but we also want to talk about a number of key areas of cooperation: on security, on trade, on immigration, on environment. And we would like to become, we are actually already a very active member in the region. So we would like to develop that role as well.
One of the most important roles that Somaliland plays is its location and engagement with Somalia in the fight against piracy. In fact, that's the reason a lot of countries engage with Somaliland. How can you help in the fight against piracy? How do you position yourself?
We have a zero tolerance policy on piracy. We have cleared our international territorial waters from piracy. In fact, we have over 60 people in our prisons who have been convicted of committing crimes in our international territorial waters. None is from Somaliland. They are all from Somalia. But Somaliland has become a major contributor to the fight against piracy, and we are part of an international, broader partnership that ensures that our territorial waters are safe. So we will be continuing to doing that, and we have had a support from the United Arab Emirates in doing that.
Let's move on to trade. Now, Somaliland and the UAE have been discussing bilateral trade for a long time. Can you tell us about that? What can Somaliland offer to the UAE and vice versa?
In fact, over 90% of our trade comes from the United Arab Emirates. So we are a very important trading partner of this country. And we just have had an assurance from this government that trade will be developed, and we will have a reciprocate economic relationship with the United Arab Emirates. Well, we have a lot of resources in our country. We have a potential oil and gas. In fact, our Minister of Energy has just been here in this country, and he has attended an international conference in which he talked about our resources. And there is an increasing interest from this country in our resources. So that's what we can offer to the United Arab Emirates in the future.
Just some time back, you held talks with DP World to develop a new port. Can you tell us a little about that?
We looked at a number of business models that we can draw in future in cooperation with the DP World in order to improve Berbera Port and to make it a world-class facility. As you will know, we are next to Ethiopia, which is over 80 million people that's landlocked, and they are continuously in need of an outlet to the sea. So we are hoping to serve parts of Ethiopia, but also other countries. And therefore, we are looking at investors like DP World to develop our infrastructure and to bring into efficiency and management models which will increase our income and our economic potentiality in the region.
In fact, that was going to be my next question. Because of its important location, Somaliland is positioning itself as the gateway to East Africa, isn't it?
Somaliland has been taking a very active role in what happens in the region already. We are an acknowledged partner in terms of security issues around the region. We are an important partner in the fight against piracy, but we are also positioning economically ourselves as a main gateway to the East Africa, and therefore Berbera Port is a very important economic asset that we have, and we are looking at international investment going into Berbera and turning Berbera into a modern state of art of port. Therefore, we can increase our economy, but we can also increase our wealth and job creation for our young people.